Taylor Swift versus Rihanna. Who's richer? Taylor Swift is a music legend and has made $1.4 billion from her Eras tour, $100 million from music streams, and
Taylor Swift, the world's wealthiest female musician. If you haven't hit that subscribe button yet, do it right now because what we're about to reveal will blow your mind. And trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next on Celebrity Program TV. Taylor Swift has just done something that seemed almost impossible in today's music industry. And the numbers are absolutely staggering. We're talking about a financial earthquake that's reshaping everything we thought we knew about wealth, power, and influence in the entertainment world. So buckle up, because this story is about to take you on a wild ride through millions, billions, and a level of success that's rewriting the rules entirely. Taylor Swift is now officially the wealthiest female musician on the planet. Let that sink in for a moment. At just 34 years old, this woman has accumulated a net worth of $1.6 billion according to Forbes, and she's just dethroned someone who seemed untouchable in that position. Rihanna, the previous queen of this financial throne, had reached an incredible high of $1.7 billion, but her current net worth sits at $1.4 billion. The shift happened fast, it happened decisively, and it proves something extraordinary about Swift's trajectory in an industry where most artists are struggling just to keep their heads above water. This isn't just about money though, this is about power, influence, and a complete transformation of what it means to be a successful artist in the 21st century. Here's where it gets truly remarkable. Swift crossed the billion-dollar threshold back in October, and the primary drivers of that wealth weren't brand deals, fashion lines, or makeup empires like we've seen with other wealthy musicians. No, Taylor Swift became a billionaire the old-fashioned way, through her music and her tours. Bloomberg confirmed at the time that she was one of the few artists in history to achieve billionaire status purely from concerts and music releases. Think about that for a second. In an era where streaming pays artists fractions of pennies per play, where album sales have virtually disappeared, where the entire business model of music has been turned upside down, Taylor Swift figured out how to make it work spectacularly. She didn't just adapt to the new reality, she dominated it, conquered it, and turned it into her personal money-printing machine. The Eras Tour is the centerpiece of this financial phenomenon, and calling it successful would be the understatement of the decade. This tour kicked off in March 2023 in Arizona, and from that very first night, everyone knew they were witnessing something special. Swift spent the summer of 23 crisscrossing the United States, performing night after night to sold-out stadiums filled with fans who had waited years for this moment. The first leg wrapped up in Los Angeles in August 2023, but that was just the beginning. She took the show international, bringing her elaborate stage production to audiences around the globe, creating economic impacts in every city she visited that economists are still trying to fully quantify. And here's the kicker, she brought it all back to the United States for the grand finale, with her final performances scheduled for December, marking the end of a tour that will go down in history as one of the most lucrative entertainment ventures ever conceived. Forbes estimates that the tour alone will generate $1.5 billion in revenue. $1.5 billion from a single tour. Let me repeat that because it's almost incomprehensible. $1.5 billion. But Taylor Swift wasn't content with just dominating the live performance space. She made another brilliant business move that showed her understanding of modern entertainment economics. Instead of partnering with a streaming service or a traditional distributor for her concert film, Swift decided to release Taylor Swift, the Eras Tour, exclusively in movie theaters. This wasn't just unconventional, it was revolutionary. When the film premiered on October 13, 2023, it earned $92.8 million in its opening weekend alone. That's movie star numbers, that's blockbuster territory, that's proof that Taylor Swift isn't just a musician, she's a complete entertainment juggernaut who can succeed in any medium she chooses to conquer. Theater owners were ecstatic. Fans got an affordable way to experience the tour they couldn't get tickets for. And Swift added another massive revenue stream to her growing empire. And if you think she slowed down after becoming a billionaire, you don't know Taylor Swift. In April, just months after crossing that billion-dollar milestone, she released her 11th studio album, The Tortured Poets Department. The album was massive, both critically and commercially, proving that her creative output hasn't suffered one bit despite the insane business success she's achieved. Most artists at this level of wealth and fame would coast, would take their foot off the gas, would enjoy the fruits of their labor. Not Taylor. She keeps creating, keeps releasing, keeps giving her fans exactly what they want while simultaneously building an empire that makes Wall Street executives jealous. If you're enjoying this deep dive into Swift's incredible journey, make sure you're subscribed to Celebrity Program TV because we've got even more shocking celebrity financial revelations coming your way. Now here's where the story gets really interesting from a business perspective. While countless musicians are complaining about how streaming has destroyed their ability to make money, how the industry has changed in ways that favor corporations over artists, how it's nearly impossible to earn a decent living from music anymore, Taylor Swift is proving them all wrong. She's not just surviving in the streaming era, she's thriving beyond anyone's wildest expectations. Branding specialist Doug Eldridge explained it perfectly to Fox Business when he said that Taylor has a special advantage when it comes to earning money from her skills, that she's riding the tech wave instead of drowning in it like so many others. While millions of dollars have been lost by artists who couldn't adapt when digital downloads replaced album sales, Swift has turned that digital tide into her personal wave to surf. She understood early that the game had changed, that the old models were dead, and that success in the new era would require innovation, direct fan connection, and complete control over her own destiny. This brings us to something even more important than the money itself. Dr. Sonia Stribling, a former U.S. Army major and author of the upcoming book, From the Battlefield to the Boardroom, argues that Swift has fundamentally transformed the music industry for women. This isn't hyperbole, this is reality. Dr. Stribling told Fox Business that the money Swift is earning is incredibly significant on its own, but what's even more important is that she's paving the way for others to follow the same path. She believes, and this is fascinating, that Swift and Beyoncé have absolutely discussed this phenomenon, that they're consciously leading a revolution that will benefit countless women who come after them. These two titans of the industry aren't just competing, they're collaborating in spirit to break down barriers and establish new benchmarks for what female artists can achieve financially and creatively. Think about what this means for the future of the music industry. Taylor Swift is setting goals so lofty that most people would consider them impossible, yet she's achieving them and making it look effortless in the process. Dr. Stribling pointed out something crucial when she noted that Swift is accomplishing things that perhaps less than 1% of the population, maybe even less than that, could ever dream of achieving in the industry. Yet somehow, she makes it seem easy, natural, like it's just what happens when you work hard and connect with your audience. But we all know it's not easy. It requires incredible talent, yes, but also business acumen, tireless work ethic, strategic thinking, and an ability to evolve with changing times while maintaining artistic integrity. The contrast between Swift's success and the struggles of other artists in the streaming era is stark and revealing. While most musicians are fighting for scraps, negotiating with streaming platforms for better per-stream rates, watching their album sales dwindle to nothing, Swift has figured out how to make the system work for her. She's leveraged her massive fan base, she's maintained complete control over her music and brand, she's created multiple revenue streams that don't depend on the whims of tech companies, and she's built a direct relationship with her audience that bypasses all the traditional gatekeepers. When she wanted to re-record her old albums to own her masters, she did it, and fans supported her so enthusiastically that the new versions often outperformed the originals. When she wanted to release a concert film in theaters, she made it happen, and it became one of the highest-grossing concert films ever. This is what power looks like in the modern entertainment industry. What makes this achievement even more impressive is the context. We're living in an age where celebrity wealth is often built on things other than the primary talent that made them famous. Actors launch tequila brands, musicians create makeup lines, athletes invest in tech startups. There's nothing wrong with diversification, but there's something pure and powerful about Swift's path to billionaire status. She did it through music, through performances, through the very thing that made people fall in love with her in the first place. That's increasingly rare, and it sends a message to young artists that it's still possible to make it on talent and hard work, not just on side hustles and brand deals. The financial numbers also tell us something about Swift's fan base that separates her from almost every other artist working today. The dedication, the willingness to spend money on tickets, albums, merchandise, streaming, concert films, and everything else Swift-related, It's unprecedented in scale and consistency. These aren't casual fans. These are devoted supporters who see Swift as more than just a musician. She's become a cultural phenomenon, a generational icon, someone whose artistry connects with people on a level that transcends typical artist-fan relationships. That connection is worth billions, literally. And it's something that can't be manufactured or bought no matter how much money you throw at marketing. The Eras Tour specifically deserves more attention because it represents a masterclass in event production and fan service. Each show runs for over 3 hours, featuring songs from every era of Swift's career, elaborate costume changes, stunning visual effects, and a level of production value that rivals the biggest spectacles in entertainment. Fans don't just attend an Eras Tour concert, they experience it, they live it, they remember it for the rest of their lives. That's why tickets were so hard to get, why the secondary market prices went through the roof, why cities experienced measurable economic boosts when Swift came to town. The tour became more than entertainment, it became a cultural moment, a shared experience that people desperately wanted to be part of. Swift understood that in an era of streaming and digital content, live experiences have become more valuable than ever, and she delivered an experience so incredible that people would pay almost anything to be there. Looking at the broader picture, Swift's ascension to the top of the wealthy musician list represents a changing of the guard in the entertainment industry. Rihanna's wealth was built significantly on her Fenty beauty empire, a brilliant business move that showed musicians could leverage their fame into other industries. But Swift's purely music-based billion-dollar fortune suggests that maybe, just maybe, the music itself can still be the primary wealth generator if you do it right. It's a hopeful message for artists who want their art to be the thing that sustains them, not just a loss leader for other business ventures. The timing of all this is also worth noting. Swift reached these incredible financial heights during a period of uncertainty in the entertainment industry, during a time when many venues and performers were still recovering from pandemic shutdowns, during an era of inflation and economic anxiety. Yet people showed up, spent money, made Swift's tour an unstoppable success. That tells you something about the power of great entertainment, about the human need for connection and shared experiences, about Swift's unique ability to provide something people desperately want. Before we wrap this up, and trust me, you need to stick around because we've got one more mind-blowing detail, make sure you're subscribed to Celebrity Program TV. Hit that notification bell because we're constantly bringing you the most incredible celebrity stories, the financial revelations, the behind-the-scenes details that you won't find anywhere else. This is where you come to understand what's really happening in the world of fame and fortune. So here's the bottom line. Taylor Swift didn't just become the wealthiest female musician in the world. She redefined what that achievement means. She proved that in an industry that supposedly doesn't pay anymore, you can still build extraordinary wealth through music and performance. She demonstrated that authentic fan connection is worth more than any brand deal or corporate partnership. She showed that women can dominate the business side of entertainment just as thoroughly as they dominate the creative side. And perhaps most importantly, she paved a path that others can follow, creating a blueprint for success that doesn't require compromising your artistic vision or selling out to corporate interests. Taylor Swift is not just wealthy, she's influential, she's powerful, and she's changed the game forever. That billion-dollar question we started with has been answered, and the answer is more impressive than anyone could have imagined. We'll be here tomorrow with another incredible story that you absolutely cannot miss, so make sure you're subscribed, hit that like button, and we'll see you in the next one. This is Celebrity Program TV, where we bring you the real stories behind the fame.